All right. Hello and welcome. Maybe we'll stop that. Yeah. Welcome to encounter number 18 as we start this second segment of our basic, how do we say it? Beginner's Biblical Hebrew. Now it's section 2. We're using Kutz and Josberger. And here we go. We are starting today the Niphal, which is the second of the verbal stems. Before we get started, I want to know if you have any questions or anything that you ran into in the reading that you didn't quite understand, something that you need clarified, because the reading might have been a bit confusing. I'm not sure. Seemed pretty straightforward to me, but I don't know what your experience is. So
that was quite interesting, that error in the book you pointed out. Error there.
No, it's very weird. How could they say, like, nikatalim? That doesn't make any sense.
Where is this?
On page 237, the participle.
37.
It's number 4 on the right. So it says niktal, which is correct, and then it's nikatala. It's nikatala. That's
that is wrong.
It's niktala or niktelet. Niktelet is the one.
All of these are wrong.
Hebrew. And it's not nikatalim. It's niktalim and niktalot.
Yeah, those are impossible forms.
Yeah, so that's true. I'm shocked. You said it's also in the back of the book, John. You checked the paradigms in the back.
Yeah, but I see they got it right, I think, on page 235.
But 451. Well, that's frustrating. But anyway, it's not so important because we caught it and I notified you guys, so I think that's all right. We want to do a short review on the kal binyan. Notice we hear a lot of people on the internet, a lot of teachers that say instead of kal, they say kal. Try to be careful that in Hebrew it's kal because it's patach, it's not a. But we're going to move on. First one was the kal stem. Okay, so for example, we'd have the root shamar. Shamar is he kept. The infinitive construct lishmor. Infinitive absolute shamar. Shamor, excuse me. Shamor. We went over in the last segment of the course, we went over all of the forms of the kal. So we have shamarti, shamarta, shamart. Oh, see, now there's my typo. Shamart, shamar, shamra, shamarnu, shmartem, shmarten, b'shamru. This should be shua right here. But you would have caught that if you were following along. So there we go. The imperfect is the prefix tense, right? And it's eshmor, tishmor, tishmeri, ishmor, tishmor, nishmor, tishmeru, tishmorna, yishmeru, tishmorna. Where these two forms have the same shape in the feminine plural, second and third person. Okay, we also went over volitionals. In this case, I took out the second person jussive, which looks exactly like the imperfect, so I just left it out and put instead the imperative, because the imperative is more important. Eshmera, let me keep. Shmor, keep. Shimri, keep for a woman. Yishmor, let him keep. Tishmor, let her keep. These are the volitionals. Okay, Nishmera, let us keep. Shimru, also imperative, keep, speaking to a group of men. Shmorna, keep, to a group of women. Yishmeru, let them keep. And Tishmorna, let them keep, for feminine. Okay. Finally, over here we have the participles. We have active and passive in the kal. So shomer, shomeret, shomrim, shomrot. And then we have the passive shamur, which are used as adjectives. These are used as adjectives, not necessarily as something being done. So shamur means guarded or protected, or oftentimes in modern Hebrew, reserved. Like if a table is reserved, shulchan shamur, shmura, shmurim, shmurot. These are adjective kept or guarded. Okay. Do you remember all of this essentially?
I recognize it most of the time. Jason, before we move on, the term binyan, the first time I ran into it on the Biblical Hebrew Forum, I hadn't got a clue what people were talking about.
It's basically that's the word stem. It means building. It means building, but it's the idea that you have three blocks. That's the three radicals, the three root letters in a word, and that you build upon it. So it's the structure that you add to the root letters to produce meaning. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I keep trying to think in terms of Greek and Latin, in terms of conjugations.
Yeah, so you might call it a conjugation.
Conjugation, yeah, okay.
So we've got the kal conjugation, or we call it the stem or binyan kal. So that so this basic pattern, like if you say shamar, you say shamarti. That pattern is going to go with whatever root you have here. So you say shamati, halachti, and the pattern basically is the same for all of them. And that it's called binyan. That just means the stem. It's the Hebrew term. Okay. What traditional grammars call the vav consecutive, or it's often written as wow consecutive, vav consecutive. Modern grammars, by the influence of John Cook and Robert Homestead, tend to call the narrative past. So vav consecutive is narrative past. We covered it really at the end of the first segment of the last, the first segment of this course, where we looked at how narrative builds the action through vav consecutives, and then all background information is pulled out of the vav consecutive string. So we'll look at basically if you have the vav with the va, it has dagesh in the next letter, and then it puts together, you've got va yishmor, va yishmor. That would be and he kept. It looks like the imperfect, but it's used for the past tense. Okay, next we've got va yikra, producing vayikra. Vayikra, and he called. Okay, if we've got yivarech, this is a PL form that we'll get into later on in the next chapter. Va yivarech temporarily becomes the va yivarech, but the shva here drops the dagesh in the letter. This is the Skinnem Levy. Do you remember Skinnem Levy? Maybe not. It's something that we kind of just pass by. Skinnem Levy. This is just a way to remind us what letters, when they have shva underneath them, will drop the dagesh with regularity. That is the sibilants. That's sin, shin, sadi, and samech, all the sibilants. K is for kuf, N is for nun, M is for mem, L is for lamed, V is for vav, and Y is for yod. So this is yod with dagesh, shva underneath. It drops that shva, and we get vayivarech. Vayivarech is how you say, and he blessed. So vayivarech Adonai et amo. God blessed his people. Okay. Va yelech. Okay. Theoretically, va yelech, but the accent shifts. The accent shifts in a lot of forms. Okay. So instead of vayivarech, we have vayivarech. And instead of vayelech, we have vayelech. Okay. Looking at some weak verbs, which we'll get into in a few chapters. Va yakum, vayakum. The accent shifts and it becomes vayakum, vayakum, and this is o, vayakum. Okay, we'll get into all of the weak verbs later on, because right now just get an impression from them. They're not the most common, but they are pretty important. Va yasim, yasim means he will put. Va yasim, theoretically vayasim, but the accent shifts and we got vayasem, vayasem. Okay, so we're going to see that the U vowel here becomes O when the accent shifts. The E vowel here becomes E when the accent shifts. Okay, just for recognition. You don't need to know how this works. Just kind of recognition because it's in our readings a lot. Okay, binyan nifal. This is what the new information is for this chapter. So I wanted to warn you: don't freak out. It's not as hard as it looks. Don't freak out in Hebrew. Al tibahalu. This is nifal. How do I know it's nifal? Because dagesh in the first radical. This represents the noon that's been assimilated. Tin bahalu is ti bahalu. Al tibahalu. Don't be frightened or dismayed, or don't freak out. All right. So kal to nifal. This is the easiest way to remember the function of the nifal by comparing most of the roots to the kal. When you have a kal that's transitive, the passive form of it is normally taken over by the nifal. In the pre-biblical times, there was actually a real passive of the kal, and the book kind of touches on it in the next chapter where it deals with piel and pual. It looked kind of like a pual, which you'll get into next chapter. But in all pragmatic instances, the kal's passive is expressed with the nifal. So, for example, patach. Patach means he opened. Hu patach et sefer. Hu patach et sefer. He opened the book. Okay, but we can also say in the passive, the book was opened by him. So the passive is the nifal. And the passive of patach is niftach. Niftach. Okay, niftach. Hasefer niftach. The book was opened. Okay, hasefer niftach. Of course, this has endings just like the kal. So the kal, we say patach is for a man, and a woman we say patcha, patcha. So here we say niftach, but if it's a door, which is feminine, we say niftecha. We put the hey on the end, just like we would put the hey over here. Patach, patcha, niftach, niftecha. Okay, we'll get into the forms in just a minute. For now, let's just look at comparing the kal to the nifal. Sagar means he closed, like he closed the book. Sagar et sefer. Hu sagar. Hu sagar et sefer. And hasefer nisgar. The book was closed. Nisgar. You see the same root, right? Sagar. And here you see the root sagar, but with the nifal you have an n prefix. Nisgar. This is why we call it nifal. Nifal, nisgar, niftach. Okay, shamar, he guarded. The nifal will be, John, what if you had to guess what the nifal will be of this verb?
I need to unmute my mic first. Nishmar.
Nishmar. Beautiful. You just take that ni prefix, plug it on the root, and give us an a vowel, right? Nishmar. Great. Hoshea, what do you think of sha'al?
Nish'al.
Nish'al. Beautiful. Nish'al. Wonderful. Jonathan, you know this. Katab.
Niktav.
Nichtav. Nichtav. Okay, so it was written. Nichtav. And the last one, kavar. He buried. He buried someone. God buried Moses in the mountain. Okay. Yikbor. Vayikbor. Nikbar. Nikbar, he was buried. Okay, remember we just mentioned that vav consecutive, the narrative past. This is the narrative past with the verb kavar or nikbar. Okay, Deuteronomy 34:6. John, could I ask you to read the verb for the whole verse for us? Do you need it any bigger? I can make it some right there for you.
Vayikbor.
Mm-hmm.
Oto, Adonai, Baga,
Bagai.
Be'eretz, Moav.
Mm-hmm. Now, normally the word guy has an aleph on the end. This is just a quirk of this verse. Vayikbor oto Adonai bagai be'eretz Moav. And this is the translation. And Adonai, we put the name here, Adonai buried him, that's speaking of Moses, Oto, in the valley, Bagai, in the land of Moab, be'eretz Moab. So Vayikbor, this is the verb consecutive. If we go to the next, let's see, right there. The imperfect form is Yikbor, and we attach that va on the beginning, Vayikbor. Vayikbor, this is, we consider the imperfect basically to be the future, generally. And Vayikbor is the narrative past. It's the future that's been flipped to the past. Vayikbor oto Adonai bagai be'eretz Moav. Okay, and Hosea, could you give us a read of Deuteronomy 10:6? Oh, hold on. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to do this. There we go.
There. Sham met Aharon vayikaber Sham.
Excellent. And of course, there Aaron died and he was buried there. They have Sham and Sham. There he died and there he was buried. Okay. Sham met Aaron vayikaver Sham. Yikaver is the imperfect. You can see here on the right. Yikaver. And when we add that va with the dagesh, vayikaver becomes vav consecutive, and he was buried. Okay, excellent, great job. How do we make this back to 0? All right, so we've got yikaver. I've marked it here. Yikaver. We're going to look now at the various forms of the Niphal. Okay, this is our second binyan. So if we take that same root that we had before, shamal, and we said nishmal is the Niphal, this is the infinitive construct. He shamer. Imagine that the nun was there in front of after the hey. It's been assimilated into the shin. Nishmal, he shamer. Let's see if I can take that ink away. Okay, lehishamer. And the infinitive absolute, instead of lishamer, is hishamor. Hishamor. Okay, it's related. The infinitives are not that important at this point. It's more important to look at the perfect and see that it has the same endings as the kal, and look at the imperfect and see that that also has the same prefixes as the kal. So once you've learned the kal system, it's easy to double up and to learn the other system. So that's what we're looking at now. The perfect. John, if you know that nishmar means he kept, that's the passive. Let's run through those forms just by adding the endings on, okay? Just like we did with the kal. John, do you mind reading through these forms for us and maybe giving us a quick translation of each one?
I'll start at the top,
Mm-hmm.
which on this arrangement will be the first common singular,
Mm-hmm.
Nishmarti. Then in the second
Right.
person.
So if nishmar means he was guarded, what's nishmarti?
Oh, sorry. I was guarded.
Mm-hmm. Or I was protected, or I was kept. Mm-hmm.
Then Nishmarta, you, masculine, was guarded. Then Nishmar. Yeah, what happens with that?
Yeah, you just put a T
Nishmart.
on the end. Nishmart. Mm-hmm.
Nishmart. Okay, I had it
Nishmarta,
right.
nishmart. Mm-hmm.
You, feminine, were guarded. Nishmar, he was guarded. Nishmar, sorry. Nish.
Okay, it's like
Nishmera.
just like in the call where that syllable will drop the vowel. does the same thing, where it's right before the vowel, the vocalic ending with a or u, the u at the end. Right before the vocalic ending, it will drop that vowel or reduce it. Okay, that's a pure peculiarity of the vowel, the verbs as opposed to nouns. The reason is, I think you remember that we said that there's secondary modification. That is, that this vowel used to be long, and then when they added the syllable on the end, the accent shifted over, and when it shifted over, it lost the vocalic structure, so it reduced to shva. Kind of weird, but
So
we
does
say
that mean,
secondary modification. That's the thing.
does that mean we've got two silent schwas in a row, or?
Technically, this one is silent, closing the syllable, and this one is vocal, opening the next syllable.
So nish
So nish,
mera,
me, ra.
nish mera.
And you actually do hear this. You do hear that that vowel. You do hear nishmera. It's not nishmra. It's nishmera. You do hear it.
Nish mera. She was guarded.
Precisely.
Then nishmarnu, we were guarded. Nishmartem, you plural were guarded. Nishmarten, you feminine. Well, the first one was masculine. This one, the 10, the feminine, you were guarded. And then Nishmeru, they were guarded.
Fantastic. So, of course, you mentioned that this one's first common singular, this first common plural, and third common plural. We call them common because they're in the middle of the table, used for masculine and feminine. Beautiful, great. Hoshea, we do some Aramaic together, right? So we haven't, this is your first time joining me for Hebrew, so I hope it's not too much for me to ask you to take over this this table right there for the imperfect.
Eshamer. Oh, no. Eshamer.
Great.
This is doubling, right?
Pardon?
This is doubling. This is doubling of the shin, or
The shin
Yeah,
is
yeah.
doubled because because the noon was essentially there. One thing you should remark about the imperfect in the Niphal is basically it's three syllables, and this is so tishamer, yishamer, eshamer. This is it's a feeling of the verb, if you want to think of it that way. So there's generally three syllables, and then sometimes they drop one of them, like tishmeri, right? That's technically tishameri. You could count that as three as well. Tishameri. Just imagine in your head three syllables generally for the imperfect for Niphal, as far as the rhythm of the language and how it feels. Our model verb in modern Hebrew would be the word for enter. It's not a biblical word, but it's ekanes, I will enter. Hu yikanes, anachnu nikanes. It's that three syllables for the Niphal imperfect. Just use that as a rule of thumb. Yeah.
So eshamer.
But don't pronounce it doubled. it's doubled. It's doubled historically, but we don't need to pronounce it that way.
Eshamer. I was guarded.
Imperfect.
I will be guarded.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ishamer. She will be guarded.
Well, we're starting with the second person. The way that I lay out the table here, I didn't clarify that for you because I do it a bit different. So this is first person, second person, and third person. Okay, in the plural, first, second, and third. So this is singular, and this is plural. This is masculine. This is feminine, and in the middle is masculine, feminine, common. Okay, it's a bit different, but that's how we lay it out in Israel.
Thank you. Okay. Tishamer. And tishameri, you will be guarded, feminine, masculine. Tishameri, you will be guarded, feminine. And then yishamer, he will be guarded, masculine. Tishamer, she will be guarded. Okay. And then nishamer, first common, we will be guarded. Okay. And then tishameru, you, plural, masculine, you will be guarded. And then tishamarna, you will be guarded, feminine, plural. Yishameru, they will be guarded, masculine. Tishamarna, they will be guarded, feminine.
Very nice, very nice. That's kind of hard, right? But seriously, you can see the similarities here to the kal here, ti, ta, all of the endings are the same. T, ah. This is with no ending, right? Nu, tem, ten, and u. The endings are exactly the same as the kal. What we want you to see here is also a, t, I, y, t. All of these prefixes are identical to the kal. So once you've learned the kal, it's easy to pick up the other binyanim. Okay, so what we want to know that's different in the kal, of course, this closes the syllable. It's tish, tishmor. But in the Niphal, it's tishamer, because that syllable is closed with the doubling, and it's opened with a new vowel for the next syllable. Okay, that's basically the structure that we're looking at. Hello, Ward, welcome. Nice to see you in the dark, but we see you. Let's see, we don't hear you though. Say hello.
Hello.
We hear you now. We're going over the paradigm for the Niphal. We did the perfect, we did the imperfect, and now we're looking at volitionals. In the volitionals, I put here in this column the imperative. Imperative, right there, imperative. Do you feel like you want to go over this table for us, Ward? This section of it right here?
Sure.
All right. So if we look at the table, this is Joseph. And the Joseph, again, is let him do something. The second column is the imperative. And this column up here is the cohortative, which we could say is the first person Joseph, if we want, using modern terminology. Okay? So this would be let me, let us, let him, let them, do it, and do it. All right, go ahead and read through it and give us kind of a gloss translation.
Eshamera. So let me guard. Ishamer. Be guarded. Is that right? Be guarded. Male, be guarded. Tisha Marie, be guarded for a woman. Yishamer, let him guard. Tishamer, let her guard.
Well, it's not let them guard, but let him be guarded.
Be guarded. Let him be guarded. Right.
May he be kept, or may she be kept. Let her be kept.
Okay. Nishamera, let us be guarded. Tishameru, that's may you be guarded. May you be guarded. Male, masculine plural.
Which one? The
Tishamaru, Tishmaru, Tishameru, Tishamarna, Tishamarna. Let you be guarded, female.
where I'm aiming at, I think you're reading here.
No, I was reading here.
Okay, this one says hishamru with a hey.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I'm
That's no problem.
yeah. I just was Hisham
Just going on
Meru.
down through. Yeah. Hishamru.
Hisham Berna.
Well, most of the time we say hishamer or hishamru. In modern Hebrew, it means like be careful. Be careful to do something, because it's saying like be protected, be guarded, be kept. It means be careful.
Now, wouldn't we'd pronounce this would be a vocal schwa though, right?
Yeah. And you know that because of the meteg.
This is a long vowel. Yeah.
There's that meteg right there. It's telling us
Yeah.
to break that syllable, and that mem holds a vocal schwa. Mm-hmm.
Hishameru. Hishameru.
Mm-hmm.
Hishamer. Hisham. Hishamarna. Hishamarna. Marna. Hishamarna.
Mm-hmm.
And let you be guarded for feminine plural. Yishamaru, let them be guarded.
This one here.
This one here.
Tishamarna, yishameru. This is let them, and this is let them feminine.
Right. Okay. Let them.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Let them be guarded or be kept. All right. In the participles, notice there is no passive participle. Can you explain why that might not be?
Because this is passive already.
Yeah, because it's already passive. What do we need passive participles for? So basically, the active participle, if we could call it that, is functioning as a passive participle. Just like we said before, remember that the passive participle is functioning as an adjective. So shamur means reserved or kept. Here, it's also generally functioning as an adjective, even in the active. So nishmar would be something that's being kept, okay? But it's not keeping something because it's not active. But what's a better example? If we had the root sha'ar, nish'ar means was left or was left over or is remaining. So nish'ar as an adjective means what remains. So what's an example? If somebody took all of my books, chas v'shalom, right? You don't want anyone to take all your books. We'll say that somebody took all of my books, and the only book left is this, let's say, the Oxford Book of Greek Verse. Okay? Let's say it's the only book that's left in my shelf. I would say, Ze ha-sefer hayachid shenish'ar, that is left. A-sefer hanish'ar li, the book that is remaining to me. A-sefer hanotar. It's like adjectival. It's it's the idea that it is left, it remains. Okay? It is left and it remains.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
When do you use Niphal participle over a cal passive participle? It can be.
Good question.
That is a good question. I had never thought of it.
I can tell you.
Can you?
And
Go for it.
you alluded to it earlier. The call passive is an older form that the Niphal participle eventually replaced.
But no, you still have the passive participle in the call. Not the call passive, but the call passive participle.
Oh, cal passive participle.
I
participle.
think the answer is the same. I think the Niphal usually eventually replaced that form.
There are a lot of words that don't appear in the kal, and that it has to be the nifal, like nishal. There's no sha'ur, like there's no call for sha'ar.
Yeah, it's just a matter of memorization.
Yeah.
And then another one, sir. When we are talking about the plural, third person, second person plurals, and then you're referring to a group of mixed genders, what do you usually use? For example, three boys, one woman, or one woman, or
in
three
biblical
women and one boy.
Hebrew, in biblical Hebrew and in Hebrew up until modern times, as long as there's one male present, it overrides and it becomes masculine plural. In modern times, we're trying to break that habit. It hasn't succeeded in the language yet, but yesterday, I just got hired at a new job. Yesterday, I had my first staff meeting with my new team members, and there are 3 girls in the team, and then there's me. I'm the 4th one in the weight team, and then there are 2 managers who were there that were both men. But when he was talking to us, he tended to say in the feminine because there were 3 girls and 1 guy. So he overrode the grammar as it's supposed to be and went with majority. And we're tending to do that today because of gender equality. But in the Bible, that wasn't the case. So I'm a bit curious myself, actually, about these forms, eshamera and nishamera. I don't know if that vowel is correct. I've never said this out loud, so I don't remember coming across it. But that's what's in the book. It might be a shva. It might be a shva, just like you put shva before vocalic endings. I don't know. This is something that we'll have to look for.
That's what it should be, it seems to me.
It feels like it should be a shva, but I put what they have in the book. I just want you to know that that might be a mistake. Okay, so Niphal, perfect to imperfect. Let's look at this. We know that patach means open, so niftach means it was opened. To get to the imperfect form, we still have that nun infix, but with the yod prefix there, preformative, we've got niftach, yin patach, yin patach. That nun takes on the sound of the pay, so it's pa, so that nun becomes pa. Yip patach, and then that is written as one with dagesh, yi patach. Yi patach is how we get from niftach to the imperfect. Okay, I'm going to look at a couple of other examples. Nisgar, yin sager. The normal vowel in the 3rd syllable there is an e. The normal vowel is e. When it comes before a guttural, it's a. Okay, yin sager, yisager, and it becomes doubled with dagesh forte, yisager. Okay, nishal, it was asked or requested. Yin sha'el, yish sha'el, yishael. Okay, nichtav, it was written. Yin katev, yik katev, yikatev. You see the pattern? Nigmar, yin gamer, yig gamer, yigamer. And finally, nikbar, that we already went over, was buried. Nikbar, yin kaver, yik kaver, yikaver. He will be buried. Okay, nilcham, yin lachem, yil lachem, yilachem. This is simply the assimilation of the nun. The nun assimilates and creates a doubled consonant that's written with dagesh forte. Okay? Ward, you're good with that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, John, you're good? All right, here we go. Some verbs appear in the Niphal nearly exclusively. Some of them sometimes in the Kal, but almost always in the Niphal, like the word for fighting, nilcham. We do have instances where it can be in the Kal, but normally it's in the Niphal. Some never at all appear in the Kal, and that's just how it is. Nishba, he swore. The Lord swore to give the land to his people. Nishba. The infinitive is lehi shava, to swear. Lehi shava. Nish'al, lehi sha'er. This is remained or was left. Nilcham, he fought. Lehi lachem. Niphal, to be terrified. Lehibahel. Lehibahel. Lehibahel is to be frightened or terrified. Our friend Jonathan here wrote a paper on this word lehibahel from the Bible. That was
Yes, in
presented at
Aramaic,
SBL.
in Aramaic mostly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the highlight of my life. And I got sick and I couldn't go.
To
So
SBL.
some idiot read it in my place. Not idiot. but-
Don't say that. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do a little bit of parsing just to try to look at the forms and put them, the stem, conjugation, person, number, gender. In this case, we don't have suffixes. We don't have personal suffixes, object suffixes, lexical form, and gloss. So we're going to ignore the suffix and just do the rest. So let's see the first one. Okay, we're going to go with tilachami. Okay, Hosea, do you want to try?
Pretty pointer,
Tilachami?
Jason. Pretty pointer.
Thank you. It's PowerPoint. They have a power pointer.
Oh,
Ilakami.
Mhm.
Lakham. A stem. Wait.
Mhm.
Okay. So, stem, Niphal.
Niphal. Mhm.
Okay. Conjugation, what's the imperfect because of
Imperfect.
the
Yes.
prefix, no?
Mhm.
And then PNG, person, number, gender. Oh no, this is the challenging part. E, first person.
Nope.
Wait, it's masculine.
Nope.
I need help here.
What does the
T.
top tell you?
The tab tell you. Second person. Mhm.
Second person, generally.
person.
Okay, right. Second person.
Generally.
And with
then
E,
E, second person, plural. No, no. Oh no.
let's look back real
Yeah.
quick. Okay, so we've got second person taf with
Tav.
nothing is masculine singular.
Okay.
Taf with u is masculine plural. Taf with na is feminine plural,
Feminine.
and it can be third person, right?
Okay.
This one could also be third feminine. They're the same form. Taf with yod with e is second feminine singular.
Feminine singular. Okay.
All right.
All
Let's
right.
get back there.
Yeah, I need to brush that up. No.
That's
So
all right. That's why we're looking at these.
Okay. Second feminine singular.
Good. There's no
Okay.
suffix. The root.
Suffix. No.
The root is.
Lakham.
And the
Laham.
gloss. How would you basically translate it?
Lakham is fight.
Right, but we want to translate it with the form.
She.
Not she.
You will be fight. You will be what? How do you translate that? You will be fought over, or
you will fight.
You will fight. Okay.
Nilcham is one of these words. It doesn't
okay.
It's not passive.
Yes, it's not passive.
Nilcham is he fought. It has a kal, but we don't use it very much. Okay. John, do you want to try this one right here?
Okay. Thank you.
Hosea, good job. John, do you want to try this one right there?
I'll try it. Niftaha.
Mm-hmm.
The stem is fatah.
Now the stem would be, is it kal or nifal?
Oh, sorry, nifal.
Mm-hmm.
And the conjugation is perfect.
Yes.
That will be third feminine.
And So you got third feminine. What's
it's
the
singular?
singular? Third feminine singular. So this should be PGN. Sorry, it's third feminine singular. So it goes in that order. PGN, not PNG. I don't know why PNG is like a image file on the computer.
Procter
Forget
and Gamble.
suffix. Yeah. So we want here root, right? What's the
So-
root?
Now, fatah.
Which would patach, right? Open, patach.
Oh, fatah.
Mhm. So translating the form,
She or it, depending on the subject, was. And I don't know the meaning of the verb.
opened.
Oh, okay. She, or if feminine subject, it was open, she, that'd probably
Yeah, yeah.
be it.
Hmm. It can be she also. You can say that a person who niftach elai, like he opened up to me. Okay, so he niftacha elai, she opened up to me. Niftacha. But it could also be a thing like scroll, Megillah. A Megillah niftacha. The scroll opened up. Okay, like in the book of Revelation, there was a scroll and the seals, and it opened up.
So that's being used almost in a active, intransitive sense. She
Yeah,
opened up.
that's true.
or-
That's
yeah.
true. It's also a really common sense of the Niphal. That whatever the root meaning is, the thing just did it. It didn't do it to something else. It just did. So let's say Hasefer Nafal ala Shulchan. The book fell on the table. Hasefer Nifal ala Shulchan. V'niftach la'amud 210. So the book fell on the table and opened to page 210. Hasefer nafal ala shulchan v'niftach, and it opened. Okay, yeah, that is it's a good observation. Very good. Ward, you want to take the next one? It's from the same root as the one that Hosea tackled.
Nilhamnu.
Yep.
So I believe that's perfect.
You believe correctly.
It's the Niphal perfect.
Yes.
It
The Niphal
is
perfect.
first person. First person common plural.
Brilliant. From the root.
Lamed, het, and mem, so to fight. So this would be, well, if this is the Niphal one, it's like we fought.
We fought. Brilliant. Nilchamnu. We fought. Nilchamnu. Great. Jonathan, you want to grab this one here?
Sure. Niftachat. And so third feminine singular, I
Let's
think.
start with the stem. What stem is that?
Oh. It's a Niphal perfect. First
perfect?
wait. Oh.
Is perfect is this one?
Imperfect. Yeah, imperfect.
No.
First.
No.
Wait.
Niftacha
Oh,
is the
never
past.
Never mind. Yeah, a Niphal perfect. Third feminine singular, I think.
That's this. That's niftacha. This is why I put this one here. It's a stumbling block.
Yeah, I'll say.
Okay, so the participle is niftach. And the feminine
so it's
for
a
niftach is
feminine
niftachat.
singular participle. Yeah, boy, you don't
So
see that very often.
We think of this as a present tense in modern Hebrew.
You called on me because it was hard, and I still missed it.
Yeah, it was a hard one.
Sorry about that.
So if you think of chanut in modern Hebrew, chanut means a store. So we say chanut niftachat b'sheva. The store opens at 7. Niftachat. It's the participle, opens. Okay. Good. All right. So Niphal, participle. You said it's feminine singular. There's no first, second, or third in participles. Okay. And the gloss. What's the gloss for it?
Patach. So she was opening, or not? Sorry, it's not. It's
being open.
Yeah. Okay. So it was being open, probably.
But not in the past. It's a participle, just being open.
Oh, right. She was opening, or it was being opened. Yeah.
But they don't need the past tense. You don't need was. You don't need was. Just being opened, because it's a participle. Being opened. Okay.
Okay.
Or just opening intransitively, as like John said, intransitive opening. Okay, so I'll give you this one. That one's easier. Tackle that one, because I tripped you up on that one, kind of on purpose.
You did, and I was distracted as well. So nishbaru, that's a Niphal perfect third common plural, I do believe, from shavar to break.
Look how quick that was.
Yes, I'm quick with the easier ones.
So the gloss translation?
So they were broken.
Yeah. They were broken, or they broke. Intransitive, you could say they broke, right? Okay, Hosea, we're back to you for this one right there. It's related to that tripping up one.
That's a much easier ending.
But you're
muted. Jose just added me on Facebook. I'm happy.
Yeah, I just added.
Thank you.
I was reading I was reading the textbook and then I found you. Miss Garim. We have here the stem Niphal, conjugation, Miss Garim. Oh no. Is this a participle? No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's a question actually. And then sagar. And then it's active because you don't have passive participles.
Well, it's better in the Niphal not to consider the participles active
just say,
or passive, because it's just Niphal. Niphal
participle. And then PNG. Do we have PNG there? It's masculine, plural?
It's masculine, plural. You don't
plural.
need first, second, or third, right?
Yes. And then lexical form, sagar.
Which is the root. That's what I mean, the root.
So adjectivally, was closed. Was closed.
Like closing. Like John was saying, intransitive.
Intransitive.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know. The courses are closing on Friday, right?
So that's Niphal participle. The was closing there.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the school is closing them. The university is closing the courses, closing registration for the courses, but the courses themselves are closing. It doesn't mean that they're closing something. It means that they themselves are being closed. Okay. All right. Along the same lines of sagal for close, Ward, you want to take this one here?
Yisager. And that would be a Niphal.
How would you know that that's Niphal and not Kal, by the way?
The Dagesh in the summit.
Dagesh, and we're going to say there are 3 syllables. Yisagir. That 3 syllables in the imperfect is a good clue that you're dealing with the Niphal. Okay.
Then I'd say imperfect. That would be third person. It'd be third person singular
And the gender?
Person masculine, third person singular masculine.
We'll switch those around. We'll say first masculine singular. There's,
Okay.
the NG is back.
And that's a to close, I guess, is the sageris, the lexical form, and the gloss would be he was being closed, or it was being closed.
He will be closed, or it will be
It
closed.
will be closed. It will be closed.
I want to open up a Word page real quick so I can type for you. Hold on. The computer will be a bit quicker than what it's being. Just 1 second. I want to type for you something. Okay, sharing Microsoft Word. Okay. Oh, what did I want to type now? Let's see. Isager. I remember. Okay. We already know Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. We know this from our memory, right? From our memory work. There's a verse just a bit after it that turns the bara. Bara we know is kal. Okay, he created bara. We're going to turn that into the Niphal infinitive construct. I'll show you the verse just in a second. I'm going to pull it up. It's also from Genesis just after. There's a verse where it says, these are the generations of the heavens and the earth when the Lord God made. Remember this? When the Lord God made them. So let's see, where does it start? This is Genesis 2:4. Ele toldot hashamayim ve'aretz behi baram, when they were made. This is how it looks. Can you see that well enough? Ele toldot. Let's fix this so it's not cutting things off for you. And then we'll go ahead and make it a bit bigger. We'll make it down 26. Okay. Ele toldot hashamayim ve'aretz behi baram. Behi baram. This is Niphal. You see, he bara, and the am is them. It's the them ending. Remember the am? Am is them. So behi baram means in their being created. So we see bara is active in the kal, and he baram, their creation, from Genesis chapter 2, verse 4. You can look that up later. I just wanted to give that to you so you would know that that's basically the difference between most of the active verbs in the kal. Most of them will have, if they're transitive, will have a passive flip into the nifal. So bara, he created. Nivra, it was created. Ha'olam nivra, the world was created. Okay, Ha'olam nivra b'shisha yamim, or b'sheshet yamim. So in 6 days. Shisha yamim. Sorry, I'm trying to type vowels quickly and sometimes they don't come out. V'shisha yamim.
Failing miserably.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Okay, back to it. Okay, here we are. So yisager, it will be closed, or it will close at a certain time. And the last one, John, this root here, shava, that root, is related to the word shuvu'ah. Shuvu'ah means a vow. A vow.
Sorry, it means a what?
Vow, like you make a vow.
Oh, a vow, V-O-W.
Yeah. So this is the word. The word is in Niphal. It doesn't appear in the kal, and it means to make a vow, to promise, to not to promise, to swear.
Swear, yeah.
Okay. Lihishava. Okay, so let's look and break this up into the stem, conjugation, PGN. There's no suffix here. The root and the gloss, if you would do that for us, for nishbati.
So it's
Nishbati.
Niphal. Perfect. First person, singular.
And
The-
common gender, right? First common singular.
Yes, yeah. The lexical form will be Shava. And the gloss will be I vowed or I made a vow.
Yes, yes, I have sworn, right? It's used so many times over and over whenever it's talking about the invasion of the land, the promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and he said, "You will come into the land which I swore to your forefathers to give to them." Okay, La'aretz asher nishbati la'avotechem, the land that I swore to your fathers, latet la'avotechem. That's the end of that. Let's look now. We did this little exercise from the reading last, in the very end of the last segment. And
Jason,
something that
before we move on, I've had sort of one question since the beginning.
course.
Is there, when Niphal's used in its genuinely passive sense, what's the standard way of expressing the agent? He was killed by whatever.
In modern Hebrew, it's going to be al yedeh. Al yedeh means al, like on, and the hands of. Al yedeh mishu, on the hands of someone. Al yedeh Moshe. I think that that exists in the Bible because, no, in the Bible it says biyad Moshe, by the hand of Moses.
It's not.
Biyad Moshe. I'm not sure. I don't know that it doesn't appear very much, the Niphal with I know in Greek you would have like hupo with the agent in the genitive. Hebrew, generally it just has the Niphal. Like the verse that we looked at with Moses being buried on the mountain. It says, and Moses died and blah, 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 and was buried in the valley, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't normally say by the Lord or anything like that. Normally, I would think that normally in biblical Hebrew, when an agent is intended, it will use the active voice instead of the passive. Like, it doesn't jump to mind. I know that I say al yedeh, like ze ne'asa al yedeh mishu, but I can't think of any examples in the Bible that I've read that have the Niphal and then by whom. Like, it just doesn't come to mind. So as far as I know, I don't know that they had that way of expressing. But this is something I'll look into. I'm sorry to have so many answers today being like, I don't know. Because really, you just read and these things don't come up like in Greek, these questions come up because Greek had that type of expression, but I just don't feel that Hebrew necessarily had that by means of someone at that time in the language. Jonathan, do you disagree? Are you able to find something for agency in the passive?
I do not know about agency. I think you're correct. I think the most common thing that I see is bayad, by the hand of somebody.
Yeah, like when it says that the Torah was given or the Torah was written, it says bayad Moshe, by the hand of Moses.
Or struck, maybe as well. I think sometimes.
Hukah bayad mishu, maybe. Hukah means it was struck, it was hit. Might be.
Yeah,
it's,
don't worry
it's
about it too much because it doesn't
really-
happen that often.
in your reading. It's going to be the active voice whenever you have the agent. So don't
Jason,
worry about that. Mhm.
on that note, I'm going to have to depart, but I'll be back next week.
We'll see you next week.
All right,
Are
see
you
you.
up
Good to see you again.
before you go? Are you up for Tuesday afternoon?
Okay.
Okay, I'll fix the schedule and I'll send it out.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Okay,
And
we'll see you then.
and on that note,
Thank
actually,
you so much.
I've got to go also today.
Everybody's leaving.
Yeah.
Gio,
Sorry,
where did you come from? Gio, I didn't see you there. You just came in and didn't say anything.
He snuck in. Yep.
good timing.
Yeah, I just
but-
snuck in because I was late. There's really a lot of things going on.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just here to to observe what's going on and maybe just catch up on the recording.
I'll be
Okey-doke.
back hopefully next Tuesday, though next week I'm going to be traveling, so I have no idea what's going to happen.
Okay. Well,
But-
thanks for coming.
Yep.
I want, what I want to do is start dividing. So we'll do the grammar stuff like in one session, and we'll do the reading in another section. And it will just be devoted to reading and to going through the text.
The
And
main thing,
and the sessions will be shorter.
the main thing I learned out of this chapter was that
Mhm.
I don't know the call good enough.
At this point, work on recognition.
Yeah.
You
Fine.
don't need to be able to produce Hebrew. Okay. You need to be able to look at it and say, okay, I see that it's got a suffix. It must be kal. Or I see that it doesn't have the doubling of the first radical because of the Niphal nun being assimilated. So it must not be Niphal, right? Just work on recognition.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, I'm glad I could come for a minute. I'll see you at least in 2 weeks, but hopefully next week.
Hopefully on Tuesday. If
Yep,
not,
take
work
care.
hard and catch up with us.
Okay.
All right.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Gio, you've come to play. I don't even know whenever you came in. I only can see 5 people on my screen. So welcome. Good to see you. We just got José in this course with us. So, okay, so what we're going to do now is what we did a little bit at the end of the last segment of the course, and that is read a sentence from the textbook, and then answer a few questions about it in Hebrew. I'm going to ask the questions in Hebrew. You don't have to answer in Hebrew. Okay? So, Gio, since you just stepped in, you want to read this sentence for us? This is the first part of the sentence. This should be the only word that you really need to know that we haven't had. Vayisa. He traveled.
Yeah, okay, I'll try. Vayisa Israel v'kol asher lo vayavo ve'ara shava ve'era
Mhm.
shava.
What do you think that would be? Ve'era shava. If you just hear it. And he came, Be'era Shava, Be'era Shava, Be'era Shava. Try to drop off that Be'er Shava. And realize that this is a pausal form here, and that would normally be Be'er Sheva. Be'er Sheva.
Okay. So that's yeah, that's a place. That's Beersheba.
Yeah,
Okay.
Beersheba. What do you think this is? Be'era Shava. He came. Be'er Sheva. Be'era. Do you recognize like Mitzrayim, Egypt, and Vayavo, Mitzrayma?
Yeah, it's in the feminine.
It's the directional hey. It
Oh,
goes to where?
yeah, two.
Mhm.
Yeah, to Beersheba.
Yeah, so he came to Beersheba. Okay, so Israel traveled,
Traveled.
and
Uh,
Kol asher lo, everything he had. Okay, everything that belonged to him. also his family and his slaves and his donkeys and anything that he had. And he came to Beersheba. Okay. Then we've got a new verb, zavach. We may have mentioned it in the past. Zavach. He sacrificed. And zevach is what you sacrifice. A sacrifice or an offering. So he made sacrifices. Okay. You want to continue that sentence out?
Vayishbach zebachim.
So this is that expression. He made sacrifices.
And he
Offered them.
so that's and he made a sacrifice.
But it's plural. Sacrifices.
Sacrifices.
Mhm.
Lelohe aviv Yitzchak.
Yitzchak. Mhm.
Oh, that's
So,
Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac. Yeah, Isaac. And what is Aviv?
From its father.
His father, right? Aviv,
father.
his father. And who is he here? Aviv, his father. Who is he?
The father of Isaac. So that would be Jacob or Israel.
Israel. Okay, to his father. He offered sacrifices to the God of his father,
His father.
Isaac. And who is Isaac's father? Remember, Isaac's father is Abraham.
Abraham. Oh,
So there's
yeah.
Abram, Isaac, and Yisrael, or Yaakov. Okay, great. Abram, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, so the questions. Before we go into those, let's make sure that everybody gets everything that's going on here. Vayisa. Vayisa. This is nasa with the nun. When you go yinsa, the future, the imperfect, yinsa, the nun assimilates to yisa. So this is vav consecutive and perfect. It's the narrative past. Vayisa. He traveled. Yisrael. That's Jacob. Israel. V'chol asher lo.
Hi,
And
Jason.
everything he had.
Unfortunately, I need to leave as well, but I'll be back.
I'm so sorry.
I'll be back in an hour if you want to go over stuff.
I have to work in the morning, so
Oh yeah, bedtime for Jason.
yeah.
All right. Well, have a good night. Nice to see everybody. Enjoy the last
Bye-bye.
little bit of your class. See you, folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
So v'chol asher lo, everything that's his, vayavo be'er shava, be'er shava. He came to Beersheba. Vayizbach zvachim le'elohei aviv. He offered sacrifices to the God of his father. Yitzchak, that's the appositive, apposition. So he offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. All right. Let's see if we can get through this a little bit. Ha'im Yisrael nasa liver sheva? Ha'im Yisrael nasa liver sheva? Hoshea, what do you think? Ha'im Yisrael nasa liver sheva?
Did Israel go? Is that the question?
Did he travel?
Well, yes.
Mhm.
Did he travel to Beersheba? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ken unasa Yisrael nasa liver sheva.
Nasa Beersheba.
מספר 2, האם ישראל נסע לירושלים? האם ישראל נסע לירושלים? ג'יו? האם ישראל נסע לירושלים? We got you.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Mhm.
Okay, so Israel lo nasa Jerusalem.
אלא לבאר שבע.
Ella,
אלא is but rather.
but rather.
אלא לבאר שבע. Okay. לאן נסע ישראל? לאן נסע ישראל? לבאר שבע או לירושלים? לאן נסע ישראל? הושע. לאן?
let me try in Hebrew.
Mhm.
Israel Yisa
Nasa,
Nasa Lebeersheba.
Lebeersheva.
Lebeersheba.
Leave er
Er
Sheva.
Sheva. Live
Mhm.
Sheva.
So if we're using narrative past, it's like we're giving a string, giving a string of things that he did. He did this, and he did this, and he did this. But we're not really telling a story. We're just answering a question. So we don't use a narrative past. We just use the regular perfect.
Sir Jason,
Israel.
question: why is it in Niphal, the Yisa Israel?
It isn't. It's just that
It's not.
the first letter of the root is nun.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you say the future would be like yinsa, and the nun assimilates becomes yisa.
That's what I'm wondering about. So how do you differentiate imperfects that start with nun with the Niphals?
Well, you can see first of all that it's only 2 syllables. Yisa.
Okay.
Remember that Niphal is going to generally be 3 syllables. Yeah, that's really a good rule of thumb. Okay, so mi nasa im Yisrael be'era sheva. Be'era, I put the locative hey there. Mi nasa im Yisrael be'era sheva. Gio, what do you think? Mi nasa im Yisrael be'era sheva. Oh, did we lose him? No, we just lost his camera.
Okay. He's
Sorry,
muted.
I got kicked out from my.
Well, welcome back. When we started earlier, my whole internet fell. Mi nasa im Yisrael be'era sheva. You know me? That's for you, Gio.
Sorry, totally forgotten me.
Ani, Hoshea, me. Ani, Hoshea, Marcus, Michael, me. Me is for, it's to find out which person.
Who? It's like who?
Who.
Minasa im Israel be'er sheba. Sorry. Who did Israel go with to Beersheba?
Almost. Instead of Israel going, it's who traveled with Israel to Beersheba.
Who traveled with Israel to Beersheba?
מי נסע עם ישראל באר השבע? התשובה כאן. Are you with us?
He seems frozen.
Yeah, the internet's not good today. כל אשר לו. That would be אשתו ובניו ובנותיו, his wife, his sons, his daughters, avadav, his slaves. Okay, everyone that's his went with him. Remember back then they had slaves, so that's something we have to take into account when we're reckoning these things. Gio, you're back. The answer was kol asher lo. That's ishto, his wife, banav, his sons, benotav, his daughters, mishpachto, his family. Okay. All right. Me'asa Yisrael.
Can you all hear me?
We hear you.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes. Me asa Israel bive'er Sheva.
Mm-hmm.
Me asa. What did he bring? Or what did he do?
Jason, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Can you hear us? I don't think he can hear us. Sir? Gio? Can you hear us? Okay. Me asa Israel bive'er Sheva. What did
Mhm.
Israel do in Beersheba?
Exactly.
Okay. Zebachim. Oh. Zebakim Israel. Zebakim Israel leElohei Yisrael
So
leElohei
Yisrael Zavach. Yisrael
Israel
Zavach.
Zavach. Okay. Is
Yisrael
Israel
Zavach
Zavach
Zvachim.
Zevachim leElohei Aviv
Aviv. Aviv.
Aviv Yitzchak.
יצחק. אוקיי. והאחרון, למי זבח ישראל זבחים? למי זבח ישראל זבחים? Gio, can you hear us now? Okay. Maybe you will answer the last one. I think it's doable. למי, okay, me, who? למי זבח ישראל זבחים? והתשובה כאן. למי זבח ישראל זבחים?
Who
Mm-hmm.
who did Israel sacrifice?
Yeah, who did he make sacrifices to? Who did he make offerings to?
So that would be, how would I say that?
So
to the God of his fathers.
You can do subject, which is, what's the subject? Yisrael.
Yeah.
And then verb. The verb is here in that I'm
Zabach.
Zavach. Zavach. Yisrael Zavach.
Israel Zavach.
Zvachim. That's sacrifices, offerings. Yisrael Zavach Zvachim. And then
Lelohei Aviv Yitzchak.
Lelohei Aviv, to the God of his father. Okay. Yeah, Yisrael Zavach Zvachim Lelohei Aviv. All right. Mi aya Avi Yisrael. Okay. Avi Yisrael haya Yitzchak. And that's our last question. Mi aya Avi Yisrael. Avi Yisrael haya Yitzchak. Okay. Avi Yisrael haya Yitzchak. All right. The next thing that I had here says Sherlot o Kshayim. Any questions or difficulties? I think we can skip that because we had technical difficulties. But what I put here was Bo Nikra. Let's read. But I think we've already hit well beyond our hour and a half. Yeah, we're right at the hour and a half mark. So we'll save the reading for our Tuesday meeting. All right.
Sir, same time or?
Yes, the same time.
Okay.
2 a.m. my time, 2 a.m. on Tuesday night. And we will focus on reading chapter 18's material from the workbook. Cool?
7 a.m.
Cool.
here in the Philippines.
All right. Thank you guys for showing up. Sorry for the technical difficulties, however it worked out, but the recording should be good.
Thanks, Jason. I look forward to the recording to catch up on everything that I've missed.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll see you guys later.
See you later.
Bye-bye.